Have you ever been vibing with someone so well that you start to picture how you could spend the rest of your lives together, have kids together, travel around the world together, and they interrupt you to say, across the world, not around, because the earth is flat. I've never had a boner killed so quickly in all my life. Welcome to Conspiracy Theory Debunked, no tin hats required. The idea that the earth is flat is one of those conspiracy theories that has been around since, well, practically forever. We all have that uncle or aunt or cousin that shows up at the family barbecue and will rant for ages about giant walls with snipers in towers at the edge of the earth. Like Jon Snow in The Night's Watch, are a thing in the real world. In the spirit of fun, let's compare this to our previous video discussions. Remember when we explored the theory of Bigfoot being a vegetarian? Hilarious, right? And how about the one about lizard people living among us? Now that was a hoot. Well, the flat earth theory is in the same league. It's like the conspiracy theory Olympics, and this one is going for the gold. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're not here to simply laugh it off. Oh no, we're here to dig in, to explore, and maybe even debunk a few things along the way. So, what's the theory? Flat earthers believe that the earth is not a round ball, but a flat disc, like a cosmic frisbee spinning through space. They have a range of arguments to support this view, from the way water behaves to the nature of horizon lines and flight paths. I remember when rapper Bob tweeted that he was in a plane and couldn't see a curve on the horizon. I think of that tweet every time I hear his music, and I won't lie, I cringe a little. Regardless of what he tweets, magic is still a fire track. But before we delve into the nitty-gritty of their arguments, let's remember this. Science is about evidence, not belief. And just like we did with Bigfoot and the lizard people, we're going to look at the evidence. So buckle up, folks. We're about to flatten this theory faster than a pancake on a Sunday morning. And remember, make sure to like this video and leave a comment about what you think. And if you're feeling extra generous, share our playlist. First up, we have these lovely vacation photos from space. Oh wait, those aren't holiday snaps. Those are photographs of our dear round Earth. One could argue those sneaky space agencies are just fooling us with their Photoshop skills. But let's pause for a moment and think. If we can put a man on the moon, surely we can do better than a few sloppy Photoshop jobs. It's a bit like saying we managed to cook a 5-course meal but couldn't open a can of beans. And before you start talking about Kubrick and the fake moon landing, we got a video on that, so let's focus on this one for now, yeah? These photos from space, my dear friends, show our beautiful blue marble in all its spherical glory. Now, I'm no professional photographer, but I'm pretty sure you can't get that kind of curvature with a simple lens trick. And before you ask, no, the astronauts weren't using fisheye lenses. It's not just NASA either. Space agencies around the world have provided us with a veritable album of Earth's glamour shots. And surprise, surprise, they all show a round Earth. I mean, if this is a conspiracy, it's certainly a well-coordinated one. Let's not forget the live feeds from the International Space Station. Are we to believe that they're running a 24/7 special effects studio up there, in between conducting scientific experiments and maintaining the station? And then, there are the satellite images. I don't know about you, but I find it hard to believe that every weather forecast, GPS navigation system, and Google Earth image is part of a grand Photoshop scheme. So, unless someone can explain to me how all these space agencies, astronauts, and satellites are in cahoots, faking round Earth pictures around the clock, I'm going to have to go with the simpler explanation. The Earth is round. It's a bit like our previous video on the vegetarian Bigfoot. All the evidence pointed to a meat-loving creature, despite the entertaining theory of a Bigfoot munching on kale. So unless aliens have a secret hobby of photoshopping Earth's pictures, we can safely say our planet is more of a ball than a frisbee. Next up, we have gravity. No, not the John Mayer song. The thing Sir Isaac Newton's famous for. Now, gravity is a bit like my ex who insists I give her back the DMX t-shirt she bought me 12 years ago. Just won't take no for an answer. Gravity pulls everything towards the center of the Earth, not towards the north or south, not towards the nearest Starbucks, but the center. And this is why we don't fall off the edge, even when we've had one too many at the pub. To put it in context, imagine a tennis ball. It's round, right? If you were a tiny ant on that ball, wherever you walked, it would feel like you're going downhill, because you're always being pulled towards the center. That's gravity for you, always pulling the strings. Now, picture a flat disc, like a pancake. If you were an ant on this pancake Earth, gravity would still pull you towards the center. So if you're walking towards the edge, it would feel like climbing a steep hill. And yet, oddly enough, I've never felt like I'm scaling Mount Everest when I'm strolling to the corner shop. And let's not even start on how gravity affects objects in motion. If Earth were flat, we'd see some very strange things. For instance, when you throw a ball, instead of it making a nice arc and coming back down, it would veer off towards the center. I'm not sure about you, but my cricket throws aren't that wonky. So unless we're all wearing invisible anti-gravity boots that counteract these effects, our dear planet can't be flat. But hey, if you do have a pair of those boots, do share. I've always fancied a walk on the ceiling. To summarize, gravity, the same force that makes apple pie fall on the kitchen floor instead of floating around, wouldn't work quite the same way on a flat Earth. And unless you've seen apple pies floating around recently, I think we can safely say the Earth isn't flat. So, unless you believe in anti-gravity boots, our dear planet can't be flat. Oh, and Chris Williams, here's to hoping you didn't fall off the edge of the world. Give us a shout if you watch this. Ever wondered why your flight from New York to Tokyo didn't go over the Eiffel Tower? Well, flat earthers, here's your answer. Have you ever taken a moment to ponder the flight paths of commercial airlines? If you've ever had the pleasure, or perhaps the misfortune, of sitting through a long-haul flight, you might have noticed something interesting about the route your plane took. It doesn't go in a straight line, or what we'd perceive as straight on a flat map. Instead, it takes a curved path, often going way north or south before heading to the final destination. Now let's put on our flat Earth goggles for a moment. If the Earth was indeed flat, a straight line from point A to point B would be the most efficient route, right? Well, not quite, according to our globe-shaped Earth. What we perceive as a curved path on a flat map is actually the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere, known as a great circle route. Imagine you're peeling an orange. When you lay the peel flat, it's distorted, right? That's because you're trying to represent a three-dimensional shape in 2 dimensions. The same principle applies to our Earth and the flight paths we see on those in-flight screens. Now, if the Earth was flat, you'd expect the flight paths to be straight lines, right? But they're not. What's more, some flights would be impossible or take much longer on a flat Earth. For example, why would a flight from Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia make a pit stop in Los Angeles if the Earth was flat? It's a massive detour unless, wait for it, the Earth is a massive sphere. So unless pilots are part of a global conspiracy to hide the truth, I think it's safe to say the Earth isn't flat. But hey, if they are, I bet those secret society meetings are a real hoot. I wonder what their Christmas parties are like. If you disagree, the comment section is wide open, and I guarantee you, I'll respond to all the comments. Well, the first 100. So, after all that, I think we can safely say the Earth isn't flat. But hey, don't take my word for it. Do your own research, or don't, and believe what you want. You make dinner parties exciting. And with that, we've journeyed through space. We've grappled with gravity, and we've even flown around the world, all from the comfort of our screen. And what have we learned? That the Earth, despite the insistence of some, isn't as flat as a pancake. It's more of a slightly squashed spheroid if we're getting technical. It's a bit like saying Bigfoot is a vegetarian. Yes, we've been there too. And while the idea of a giant hairy creature munching on a salad is amusing, the evidence suggests otherwise. But then again, who am I to judge anyone's dietary choices? And let's not forget our scaly-skinned friends living among us, the lizard people. Now, there's a theory that adds a bit of spice to our daily lives. But sorry to disappoint, the only lizards we've found so far are the ones basking in the sun or starring in car insurance commercials. So, whether you're a firm believer in the flat Earth or just here for a chuckle, I hope you've enjoyed this little jaunt into the world of conspiracy theories. And if you have, why not give that like button a click? It's the least you can do for our round Earth. And hey, why not drop a comment and let us know what you think? Is the Earth flat? Is Bigfoot a salad lover? Do lizard people really walk among us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button too. You wouldn't want to miss our next adventure into the weird and wonderful world of conspiracies, would you? Until next time, keep those tin hats handy and stay curious.